And welcome back to the last of the week of Who Would Win, although I'll do a Who Would tomorrow anyway, because it's when I normally do it. And this one comes to us from James Price, who asked the question, who would win or fight? Ahsoka Tano versus She-Ra. She-Ra is I believe she's the cousin or the sister. She is the animated, twin sister. Okay, she's the twin sister pretty much of He-Man, Prince Adam. Well, that's his name anyway. Prince Adam, He-Man. So She-Ra, she uses the sword, not a power, but a protection, if I'm not mistaken. That is her weapon. Whereas he's got the sword of power, I believe. Sword of protection. And it grants her the power of Grayskull. So, with the power of Grayskull, her sword can turn into God knows how many weapons. But as Death Battle pointed out, that means that she's always kind of playing catch-up if she's not equipped to deal with the weapon their opponent has on hand. But she makes up for that with being nearly invulnerable, basically having similar durability to He-Man. Magical in some ways, communicate via telepathy with animals. She is capable of healing other injuries by touching the damaged wings of a unicorn, or at least healing a unicorn's wings. Probably can heal other injuries as well. While she displays various abilities, her sword's primary means of attack and defense. She is also super strong, fast, and her strength is enough that she was able to push a moon out of orbit. That's impressive. Speed-wise, I mean, if you want to get real stats, go to Death Battle when she fought Wonder Woman. She's actually very fast. She also has her companion. What is her companion's name? Give me 1 second here. She's got a companion who's a horse that turns into a unicorn that flies throughout the galaxy. What is the name of that damn horse? The name of said horse. I can't find the name of said horse. Point being is that, where is it? I know it's here somewhere. Her twin brother, Adam Cringer, Balcat. Okay, those are people who know about her. Where is her, Swiftwing. And who can travel kind of over across the universe. This fight will just between She-Ra and Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano is a former Jedi, no longer. She abandoned the Order, hence why her lightsabers are white. She is a former student under Anakin Skywalker, now Darth Vader. She was strong enough to actually fight on par. Granted, Vader wasn't going all out, but on par with Vader and Rebels. She was a master of, Gemso is the dual style of fighting, if I'm not mistaken. There's 7 major styles of lightsaber dueling. There is Surisu, which is, I believe, the first and primary form. Surisu is the defensive form. Makashi is the duelist form. Ataru is the athletic form, which she has knowledge of that one as well. She's very capable of that. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, God. The first one's bothering me. The power form is what Anakin uses. It's the aggressive form, whereas Surisu is the defensive form. I can't remember the name of it. The 6th form, I believe, that's Nimai. Am I right on that? I might be wrong on that. Either way, it's a jack-of-all-trades style that uses the Force with lightsaber combat. And then Vapad is the 7th, and it's only used by Mace Windu. I'll have to look into that again. But anyway, she was a master of using dual-bladed combat, but she was also very athletic. She was very skilled with the Force, like Force pushes, grapples if she had to, augmenting her own physical abilities. She wasn't on the level of like a Vader or even an Anakin or like a Mace Windu or even like a Qui-Gon, but she was still a very powerful like Jedi. And that's the thing, kind of like, yeah, you're not part of the Jedi Order. Yeah, you're a Jedi though. Give it up. You're a Jedi. But she was still quite a capable duelist. Particularly, she was a very good fighter in general. But she wasn't without her flaws. Sure, like she could not take on multiple opponents at once. I believe she fought Darth Maul to a standstill. She did her best. She was able to hold Vader off, although Vader was clearly the stronger fighter in that regard. And she was capable of easily taking on some Inquisitors by herself. If these two met in a fight, who would win? Well, I guess it's dependent on if the sword of protection could be destroyed by a lightsaber. First off, as far as I know, the swords are, because they're magical based, can't really be destroyed by normal means. You'd probably need like molecular manipulation, magic, or whatever to destroy them. Otherwise, they're not really capable of being destroyed just by like sheer heat or something like that. So these two meet. They probably wouldn't fight in real life. In a story where they're meeting, they probably actually wouldn't fight. They'd probably work together. But for the sake of this, they're fighting. So She-Ra would probably come in, try to attack. Her speed and her strength alone is far exceeds Ahsoka Tano's, as well as the experience that the Sword of Protection does instill. It's kind of like the Sword of Grayskull as well, where the wisdom of Grayskull flows through the user. So despite the fact that Ahsoka has actually probably had more years of legitimate combat experience, like being on the field, She-Ra's wisdom probably evens that out. But she does have probably better honed reflexes Ahsoka does of a fire. So they'll probably be duking it out. While the lightsaber probably wouldn't destroy this Sword of Protection, the Sword of Protection probably can't cut through a lightsaber because it's a magnetic field surrounding plasma. So it probably does clash, and they probably like that. The problem there is that when they clash, her sheer strength is going to be able to overpower Ahsoka. Now, what Ahsoka has over She-Ra, though, is the ability to use the Force. And, to be able to ragdoll her if she needs to, force push, to force pull, to levitate things by her. She's not going to be able to mind trick or anything like that, unfortunately. But either way, they will be duking out for a little bit. Back and forth, force pushing, she gets blasted back a bit, She-Ra does. Transforms her weapon into something else. Ultimately, though, throwing the weapon might actually be the Achilles heel for She-Ra in this fight, because you can turn into a boomerang, a lasso, giant handcuffs, a shield. Probably can it's even turned into a ladder and a space helmet, which is really freaking weird. It can also project a laser like energy beam, but a lightsaber can block lasers, so there you go. If the stone is damaged, she cannot become She-Ra unless it's somehow repaired. Which means if the stone in her sword gets destroyed or damaged, it's done, because then she loses her abilities. And it's possible, because it's magic, I don't know because force sensitivity is one thing. Ahsoka can sense the force energy. I don't know if magic is something the force users can naturally sense, or if magic is a part of the force in the Star Wars universe. We know magic exists, but we don't know if it's through the force or if it's through other means. But the problem still is that by throwing her weapon and having the force and being able to grab things, she can, in fact, just stop the blade. And even she would be like, maybe she could try to pull back with her own force, because I think she can do that. Actually, no, I don't think you can. I don't think it's like the magnetite. It's not like Mjolnir in this case. I don't think that. I don't think it is. Because He-Man's isn't. It can be used kind of like a boomerang, but not like Mjolnir, where it's like, ha! Ha! It's not like that. So she grabs that blade, she holds on to that blade, and She-Ra now is like, okay, I got to fight with my pure physical ability. Now, fortunately, she completely overwhelms Ahsoka with that. Unfortunately, as durable as she is, I don't think she can survive pure plasma strikes straight to her body, at least not without some level of harm. That's where Ahsoka finally gets in, starts to actually do legitimate damage. Unfortunately, She-Ra's still probably, I think, naturally faster. Even with augmenting yourself with the Force, there's only so much she can, and having, the Force also gives you some precog abilities. There's only so much she can dodge someone like She-Ra, who eventually might take the sword back, but Ahsoka maybe actually tries to pull the sword out of her hand. She-Ra actually holds it, and she ends up pulling the jewel out, grabbing that, and just says that crack that instead of using the Force or just with the lightsaber, and that does break. And at that point, She-Ra just loses her power. It's like, no, oh dear. It's like, and then Ahsoka comes. Now Ahsoka would not be cold-blooded, just kill her at that point, but she'd probably knock her ass out. Now that being said, if She-Ra gets any sort of physical hit in on Ahsoka, she could probably take maybe 1 or 2 hits, and then she's probably done. Because the amount of power that She-Ra actually has to move a planet or a planet-sized object is more than Ahsoka is capable of taking on. So the question is, does She-Ra get the knockout blow in first, or does Ahsoka pull out the gem first? I will tentatively say that while I don't really care about either of these characters, I'm going to be frank. So there's really no bias here. I will say I think Ahsoka having a low level of precognition thanks to the Force, being an on the battlefield honed warrior compared to She-Ra, who still has the wisdom of Grayskull in there to some degree, but kind of only goes out on her own. She was never open. She was never doing this. She hasn't been doing this for decades and decades and decades, at least not in the standard continuity. She got it like Prince Adam did and just starts being She-Ra. That does not say she doesn't have experience thanks to Grayskull, but still, Ahsoka's experience is actually a tangible experience that she can translate onto the battlefield. So I think she'll be able to avoid She-Ra long enough to eventually pull out the gem, destroy it, realize that was the key, and then knock her out. So, while I think it'd be close, my money's going to go on Ahsoka Tano. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review at some point. If you want to be notified, hit that bell. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later. I'll do one more video. I'm not going to do every video I need to do today. The time change kind of is kicking my butt a little bit, if I'm going to be frank. So I'm actually pretty tired. But I've got this entire week off. This week I took a vacation. I literally took a vacation because I got plans for sick time and vacation time, and I needed a vacation. So I got a vacation this week. So trust me, I've got all the time in the world this week to get everything out. So yeah, I'll do the Captain Kaz Shinigami video tomorrow, and I'll get the what if out before the night's over. Till then, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.